Sean Diddy Combs, music mogul, fashion icon, entrepreneur, and one of the most influential figures in hip-hop history. For over 3 decades, he crafted a cultural empire that stretched far beyond the recording studio. But behind the platinum records, sold-out shows, and champagne-soaked celebrations lies a darker story. A story of power, scandal, and a shocking fall from grace. What started as an inspiring tale of ambition and hustle has evolved into one of the most controversial sagas in modern celebrity culture. This is the rise and fall of Sean Diddy Combs, the making of a mogul. Born in Harlem and raised in Mount Vernon, New York, Sean Combs entered the world of music with an unrelenting drive. After interning at Uptown Records, he quickly rose through the ranks, eventually becoming a talent director. He had an eye for star power and a mind for branding that set him apart. But after being fired from Uptown in 1993, Combs made a move that would alter the course of hip-hop history. He launched his own label, Bad Boy Records. Bad Boy wasn't just a label, it was a revolution. Its first major signing was a young Brooklyn rapper named Christopher Wallace. Better known as the notorious Big Together, Diddy and Biggie would usher in a new era of East Coast hip-hop. The sound was slick, the marketing was sharp, and the style was unmatched. Diddy didn't just sell music, he sold a lifestyle, one that mixed street cred with opulence, grit with glamour. By the mid-90s, Bad Boy Records was churning out hits from Faith Evans, 112, Mace, and Total. Diddy, now known as Puff Daddy, was everywhere, producing, rapping, and starring in music videos. He even claimed the spotlight with his own debut album, No Way Out, which won a Grammy and cemented his place as a front-facing figure in rap. From music to empire, Diddy was more than a music producer, he was a visionary. He expanded his brand into fashion with Sean John, a clothing line that brought streetwear to high-end retailers. In 2004, Sean John won a CFDA award, a rare honor for a hip-hop rooted brand. He wasn't just following trends, he was creating them. Then came the business move that stunned even his biggest fans. His partnership with Diageo to promote Ciroc vodka. Diddy didn't just endorse the drink, he transformed it into a cultural staple. Through parties, shout-outs, and strategic placement, Ciroc became synonymous with wealth and exclusivity in black entertainment spaces. Diddy reportedly took home 9-figure payouts from the deal. At one point, he was consistently at the top of Forbes lists for richest hip-hop artists, surpassing even Jay-Z in earnings. His success extended to television as well, with making the band I Want to Work for Diddy and eventually Revolt TV. He was shaping the media narrative around himself and the culture he helped elevate. A cultural force. More than just a businessman, Diddy positioned himself as a symbol of black excellence. He hosted high-profile events like the White Party, rubbed shoulders with global elites, and cultivated a public image rooted in hustle, luxury, and control. He preached ownership in music and often spoke about breaking barriers for black entrepreneurs. To many, he was a modern-day Renaissance man, equal parts entertainer, executive, and mogul. He mentored artists like French Montana, DJ Khaled, and Machine Gun Kelly, while continuously expanding his reach. But even as he thrived in public, rumblings about his behavior began to surface. Early red flags. Whispers of Diddy's temper, control issues, and behind-the-scenes conflicts weren't new. Lawsuits, altercations, and violent incidents trailed him throughout his career. There were reports of altercations with record label staff, nightclub brawls, and a long history of aggressive confrontations. In 1999, Diddy and then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were involved in a high-profile shooting at Club New York. While Diddy was acquitted, the incident sparked years of media scrutiny. He managed to keep his image intact, thanks in part to slick PR, loyal fans, and the sheer force of his success. But not everyone was convinced. For those paying close attention, the warning signs were already there. The Cassie lawsuit and public reckoning. Everything changed in late 2023 when Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and former protégé, filed a bombshell lawsuit accusing him of rape, physical abuse, and years of manipulation. The suit was settled within 24 hours, but it didn't go unnoticed. On the contrary, it opened a floodgate. Other accusers soon followed. Former employees, industry insiders, and anonymous sources began speaking out. Allegations ranged from coercion and harassment to sex trafficking and drug-fueled assaults. Some claimed Diddy ran his businesses like a cult, demanding absolute loyalty while emotionally and physically degrading those around him. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. The man once hailed as a cultural icon was now being scrutinized as a potential predator. The empire that once seemed untouchable began to shake. BBC documentary blows the lid off. In 2025, the BBC released a comprehensive documentary titled The Rise and Fall of Sean Diddy Combs. The film, filled with interviews, archival footage, and chilling testimony, connected the dots between decades of behavior and current allegations. It portrayed Diddy as a man who built his fortune on charisma, ambition, and fear. Former collaborators described a toxic work environment, while legal experts analyzed how power can be used to silence victims. It was no longer about one lawsuit. It was about a pattern, a culture of intimidation masked as stardom. The documentary forced viewers to reckon with the darker underbelly of hip-hop's golden age and the price of protecting powerful men in the industry. Legal fallout and industry backlash. As of now, Diddy faces multiple ongoing investigations by federal authorities, including the Department of Homeland Security. His homes have been raided. His partnerships have dissolved. Revolt TV has distanced itself. Cyroc and other brand deals have been paused or ended. Even in the court of public opinion, Diddy's name has become radioactive. Artists who once praised him have gone silent. Celebrities are scrubbing old photos and collaborations. The mogul who once defined the culture is now being erased from it. The industry's swift pivot has raised deeper questions. How long were these allegations known behind the scenes? Who enabled the silence? And why did it take so long for the reckoning to begin? The fall of a titan. The fall of Diddy isn't just about personal scandal. It's about dismantling a legacy. It's about watching a self-made man's empire crumble in real time. His story mirrors a broader shift happening across the entertainment industry, as survivors come forward and institutions are finally forced to confront long-ignored abuses of power. Diddy's story also forces fans to reckon with their own complicity. For years, red flags were visible, but the music, the marketing, and the myth were more powerful. Now, the facade is gone. Sean Diddy Combs once stood as the ultimate example of what was possible. From Harlem streets to hip-hop royalty, he redefined the business of rap, reshaped pop culture, and inspired generations of Black entrepreneurs. But behind the empire was a man whose alleged abuses of power were buried under glitz, gloss, and celebrity worship. Today, that empire is under siege, and the question remains, can a legacy so tightly woven with power and control ever be salvaged? Or is this the final chapter of one of hip-hop's most complicated icons? What are your thoughts on Diddy's rise, and now his fall? Do you think justice is finally being served? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the untold stories behind the headlines.